Your legacy is a genocide. Your legacy is the brutal destruction of Gaza and the deaths of countless innocents all around the world. Your legacy will be denying the American people a transformational presidency. Your legacy is a decaying country and climate. Your legacy is putting capitalism above public health.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
What's up, everybody? Ron Placone here reporting for Status Coup. So starting in 2009, I would write an open farewell letter to every president. It started with George W. Bush. I've written one for Barack Obama. I wrote one for Donald Trump. And now I'm writing one for Joe Biden. Some people have asked me, have you ever gotten a response? No, I have not. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen. But here is my farewell letter to Joe Biden. Dear Joe, I feel like we're on a first name basis. Dear Joe, and as long as I've been doing this, this is the first time I could have actually written it before the election even happened. Nonetheless, this is my farewell letter to you as president. In case you forgot, and you likely did, you were president. For the past 4 years, in fact. I realize you may not know that, and I may have just made your day. For what it's worth, you weren't a very good one. I try to be fair with these, so I start off with the good. You had some reasonable appointments. You even had some good ones. Lina Khan is an amazing part of the FTC, and while you may not even know who she is, the buck still stops with you, so kudos for that. You also delivered on a net neutrality FCC, even though it took you 3 years to do so. Trump appointed his FCC in the first few weeks and already has his appointees in place, by the way. Also, the IRA, while grossly inefficient and a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what we need, was better than absolutely nothing at all, I guess. The drilling ban on your way out the door was something, though we both know full well the incoming administration will turn that around as soon as they can. I'll give this to you, Joe. You are the most coddled politician I've ever seen. I honestly don't know why. Are you really that likable in the Beltway? As I'm writing this, my city is on fire. Per usual, you've been grossly insufficient, and when asked about it, babbled about how you're a great-grandfather now.
We got the notification yesterday their home was probably burning down. Today, there's a baby still standing, I'm not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great-grandfather as of today. I have a granddaughter, and a baby girl, a baby boy.
You've reached the point where pretending to give a shit is a bridge too far. Your sycophants still made excuses for you. We didn't know the context or something. Even at the end of your stellar 2024 run, when you weren't able to string together a sentence to the point of being manhandled by a racist game show host in a debate, even then, you still had cultists who thought you were fit for the task at hand. Those of us based in reality wondered if you were still able to dress yourself. You've been on the wrong side of nearly everything your entire career. You were a segregationist. You never saw a war you didn't like. You got humiliated in prior presidential runs. You were anti-choice and anti-LGBTQ until you weren't because your party said so. You used your dead son as a backdrop against universal health care, and it'll never hit you how absolutely ghoulish that was. But hey, it's just a stutter. I think it is likely you will be remembered fondly as a president. You'll be remembered as good old Amtrak Joe, which is ironic since you busted a rail strike. And there will be pictures of you marching on one of the handfuls of days you decided to cosplay as a friend to the working class. Joe, you'll be coddled until the very end. At this point in your life, however old you are, don't know, don't really care. You're probably thinking about how you're going to be remembered and what you'll leave behind. I mean, besides your moron son who baffles science by inexplicably being the strongest sperm. So, I want you to know that some of us, maybe even more than I realize, know your true legacy. Your legacy is a genocide. Your legacy is the brutal destruction of Gaza and the deaths of countless innocents all around the world. Your legacy will be denying the American people a transformational presidency. Your legacy is a decaying country and climate. Your legacy is putting capitalism above public health. Your legacy is a long list of broken promises, except for nothing will fundamentally change. Your legacy is the Iraq War. Your legacy is the crime bill. Your legacy is giving us Trump a second time. While it's impossible to pick one person to blame for allowing Donald Trump to slither his way back into the White House with a clown car of goons somehow even more repulsive than the first time, if I had to blame one, I'd pick you. Had you kept one of your many broken promises and not run for re-election, your uninspired, rudderless shell of a party would have at least had a pretend primary. Had that happened, maybe, just maybe, the American people wouldn't have been force-fed Kamala Harris, a politician about as popular as a forest fire, and maybe whatever blank suit would have made it out of the sewer to be the nominee would have been mildly less putrid than the guy you beat in 2020. Technically, that guy beat himself, but why split hairs? My one hope is that politicians like you are becoming a thing of the past. You're everything that's wrong with American politics. Corporate controlled, mind up for sale, no principles or goals except get more power, gaslight the people to believe they should be thankful for the scraps, be a cool guy in the Beltway, and maybe people will let you stick around and you'll move up. It's a gas. It's a racket. It used to at least be mildly entertaining, but even that's not the case anymore. Sadly, though, there's a new generation of puppets waiting for Comcast-sponsored strings to fill your shoes. Many speculate your health. I have no idea what's wrong with you, but I think it's safe to say something's up. You're not well. I have the same message for you that you had from my generation and the one after mine. I have no empathy. Bye. Done. If you want to read that, if you want to get the text of that, you can get that over at my Substack. It's just ronplacone.substack.com. If you follow Status Coup on Substack, I'm easy to find there. You can follow me too, but it's just my name, ronplacone.substack.com. Please do follow it. I have that post and other ones as well. And folks, before we get out of here, I do have to mention my movie Left at Wall is coming out on January 24th. It is coming out soon. I am so freaking excited. You can pre-order it now on Apple TV. We'll include a link in the description, or if you just are on Apple TV or on your smart TV in general, you can type in Left at Wall and it comes up. You can pre-order it. If you're not an Apple TV user, that's okay. On January 24th, it's going to be distributed across a bunch of platforms, and I'll be including all the platform information as the date gets closer. And it's also going to be available to buy on DVD. So for those of you who still buy DVDs, it will be available for purchase come January 24th. Please follow me on social media at Ron Placone for all the updates there. I'm so excited for you all to see my movie. And this is Ron Placone for Status Coup, signing out.